Well, Mark, thanks for coming on Play the Bay. You're a three-time Super Bowl champion. You kind of know a thing or two about what's going to go on this weekend. I kind of want to get your take. The Bucs are doing a rematch with the Chiefs, coming off that Week 12 loss with the Chiefs. I wanted to ask you, what do the Bucs really need to do differently this time against the defending Super Bowl champions?
Not let them have the ball late. Ultimately, it's interesting. Obviously, both teams, team speed wise, this is a great matchup, team speed wise. Now, I called 4 Bucs games over the course of the season. Defensively, the fastest defense I have watched all season long. The 2 inside linebackers, Levante David and White, literally play with a rocket up their asses. It's incredible to watch them play. They're 2 of my favorite players. Antoine Winfield, I assume he's going to be back. Antoine Winfield Jr. Missed the championship game. Phenomenal player, all 3 levels. He's one of those young safeties that I look at like he should be in that MVP, that Defensive Rookie of the Year. He should be either win it or to me, it really comes down to him and Jeremy Chin in Carolina that were great. Now they'll probably give it to Chase Young because he's got a bigger name, but I thought he was phenomenal at all 3 levels, from a blitz standpoint to a linebacker standpoint to even a nickel corner standpoint. He was amazing, and even a deep safety. So I think the speed matchup is incredible. And it really comes down to when you get Kansas City, because Kansas City can move the ball. They're going to create some big plays. Can you keep them from scoring from 60 yards out or 40 yards out? Can you make them get into the red zone and then eliminate their red zone possessions, make them kick field goals? Because the one thing about the red zone is that constricted area eliminates some of your speed. You no longer have to worry about getting beat over the top. You can play with your heels at 8 yards and not worry about giving up the long ball. So it eliminates, it congests the field a little bit, eliminates the over-the-top play. So it evens the playing field a little bit in the red zone. To me, it's about making them kick field goals and then trying to figure out a way at the end of the day to get the ball last with the game being 31-31. Like that's what it comes down to. And they're an incredible offense, and that to me is really kind of what you have to be able to do.
It's almost like it's a reboot of the Bucs defense, because in Week 12, Kansas City didn't see this defense, which I think after the bye week has gotten better and better each and every week, especially going into the playoffs. What would you think would be the X factor? And I said this on my show the other day. I think it's the battle of the trenches. I think if you can get to Patrick Mahomes, that's going to be the key to the Bucs winning this game. Do you think, the Bucs winning that trench game, do you think that's going to be the X factor for them going into the Super Bowl?
I've said this many times about Todd Bowles and that defense, and they're great because, they'll eliminate your run game. They don't have to commit extra guys to eliminate your run game. I know we look at JPP and we look at Shaq Barrett as great pass rushers, but I'm telling you, they are exceptional in the run game, exceptional edge setters, exceptional leverage players, and their ability with their athleticism to get off those blocks, force the ball back inside to where all the help is. I think they've done a tremendous job. They don't get the credit they deserve. JPP, like last year, he broke his neck, was out for the first 6 weeks, and comes back and still gets 10 sacks or whatever it is. He's just an incredible player. The aggressiveness of Todd Bowles. Now, Todd and I played together in Washington for several years, so I've known Todd well. The aggressiveness, especially on first and second down, the key to blitz, and this is something Tampa Bay probably does better than anybody else. The key to blitz is, and I talked to Sean Payton about this before a game. The key to it is, can you affect the quarterback on your 4th step? And ultimately, that's what it comes down to, is can you have the timing and explosiveness to, on your 4th step, make the quarterback pull the ball, you hit the quarterback, you affect the throw. If they quick count you or they block you up and make you take 6 steps, you'll get eviscerated. So it really comes down to the timing and the execution of the blitz. And I don't think anybody does that better than Tampa Bay, and especially Devin White. He is so good at attacking protection, his speed and athleticism. And the other thing is, when he green dogs, so when they're in man coverage and that back comes to help somebody, He'll fire and go hits. He's so fast that he closes that gap before a quarterback is actually ready. And, you can call that a book blitz. You can call it a green dog. There's a million different things to call it, but there's nobody better that I've seen on film than Devin White when it comes to that. I lost you there for a second.
Sorry about that, Mark. So, you've been in the situation before in the Super Bowl, multiple times. Any pregame rituals that you would usually do before the game?
No, nothing really.
Nothing weird and out in the ordinary?
No, I don't have any real. My thing was always, I would tell guys, and especially when I got to my third, is, once you get the first hit out of the way, it's just a game. And I know it's the Super Bowl and there's a lot of pomp and circumstance, but it really is just a game. And you just got to, don't waste a bunch of energy pregame. Don't waste it. Once you hit somebody, once you get that initial shock out of the way, you're just playing a game. I think so that was always my advice. The other thing is halftime is double the length. So halftime is a pain in the ass. So, move around a little bit. Just don't sit there the whole time at halftime. But for the most part, like I said, once the game is kicked off and you start playing, it's not like any other game you've played, but it's exactly like every other game you've played, if that makes sense.
It does. It does. Now, Mark, we know y'all. We all know you from Fox NFL. We know you being on TV. Tell us a little bit about your outside life of football. Tell us about Pathogen a little bit.
Well, Pathogen Solutions they're unbelievable. Right now, what we're dealing with the pandemic, we're used to washing our hands. We're used to wearing the masks. You're still tracking in garbage into your work facility from your shoes. And Pathogen Solutions, their shoe sanitizing unit, you step on it for 8 seconds. It eliminates 99.999% of all the viruses, all the gunk, all the MRSA, E. coli, coronavirus, all that stuff. So my big thing is, last year I went to the Super Bowl as a fan, and I was sitting in Kansas City Chiefs section, and I was talking mass junk to all the Chiefs fans for 3.5 quarters because the Niners were winning, and I'm a big Kyle Shanahan guy, right?
Yep.
And it's the connectivity of being a sports fan is great. And all Pathogen Solutions is trying to do is bring us back to normal, right? To get us back to where we can be together, we can watch the game, we can enjoy it. And same thing with our work environments. I know in studio, man, I've been in studio, my own radio studio, where I'm in one room and my co-host is in the other room. And it drives me crazy because I love that connectivity. So that's what they're trying to do right now. Several of these units are being used around the Super Bowl in Tampa Bay. I tell you what, it's a great, unbelievable product. The technology is unbelievable. And they're just trying to help us get back to what we do. And that's enjoy each other and enjoy sports and collectively be together.
Mark, before we get you out of here, I got a couple of things I want to ask you. Prediction for the game. Who you got?
You know what? Again, this is really hard for me. I'm taking Kansas City begrudgingly. I'm going to have to stop talking to you right now, Mark. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Trust me, I am rooting for Tampa. I want to see, I love greatness. I want to see Tom win his 7th. Just because I think it would be awesome. I've watched Kansas City beat down my Broncos for the last 5 years. So, just so thoroughly that I think I'm a little browbeat right now by the way they beat the Broncos. So maybe I'm a bit biased that way.
And the last thing is I think a lot of people don't really know that you have acted a few times in some things. Will we ever see the return of Rock Hoover in your future?
Let's hope not. Let's hope not. I hope I don't have to go back on soap opera. I'm quite a bit older and I'm a lot fatter than I used to be. So we'll try to not go on that. Yeah. You know what? That was fun. I had a blast doing Ballers, and a couple other things that I've done, but, I'm not going to pay my bills by my acting chops. I guarantee that.
Awesome. Well, Mark, thanks for coming on and having this interview with me, man. I appreciate it.
You got it, brother. Be good.